So recently, one of you emailed me and said, help us with add-on sales. You know, we're doing really good with our sales. We're doing really good with our closing ratios, but we would really love to grow our business through add-on sales. And you know what's really interesting is when you look at things, it's even as small as maybe a retipping or a jar of jewelry cleaner or a jewelry cloth. When you add those items on, when you have more than one item on a ticket, you can really do amazing things to your bottom line. Because think about how many tickets you have in a week and then how many items are on each ticket. Well, if you can just grow that percentage even by a small amount, you can really help the profitability of the jewelry store. And you can also help your profitability and your personal sales. So, and not only that, but add-on sales really can be a great customer service. I want you to get rid of the thinking that add-on sales are being pushy, because they're not. And we're going to go through that here in a little bit. Let me tell you a quick story. Sharon's birthday flowers. Last week was my wife's birthday, and it was 5 minutes to 6, and I'm driving down the highway, and we've got this really nice flower shop in our neighborhood. Really nice, and they're better than, if you don't just stop at the grocery store to pick up your wife birthday flowers. Like my wife's birthday, for example, it was a significant birthday. Anyhow, so I called the shop and I said, hey guys, I know it's 5 minutes to 6. I know you guys are closing right now. Can you put together something for Sharon? And yeah, no problem. And then they just said, how much do you want it to be? And I said, $50, and they said, great. So, and then they started asking me things like, what do you want tulips in it? Do you have any particular color? And I just laughed and I said on the phone, I said, you guys know me. You know Sharon. Just do what you think she would like. And then they laughed and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. Anyway, I got their phenomenal flower arrangement. It was from the shop that she loves, and she's a very happy camper. And I'm a happy camper, and I wasn't that involved in the purchase, except I made the phone call and put my credit card down. Next, Bill Paul Limited. Bill Paul Limited is a clothing store in Neenah, Wisconsin, and they are, it's always funny because I'll go in there and I'll say, I'm looking for a jacket, or I'm looking for a pant. And then they find a pant and they lay it out on this pool table, which they use as their display table. They lay it out on the pool table. They don't stop there. He goes and gets a belt. He goes and gets a tie, a shirt, socks. He puts he doesn't even ask me. He just goes and gets it. That's their mode. That's what they do. And it's funny because he's like, you can't not get this belt with these pants. And what he does is he breaks it down. He says, at least you have to do this. You can't buy these and wear these with this. And so he does it very humorously. He does it very lightheartedly. But when I look at it and I look at the set together, I think, wow, I really do want that. So I didn't just buy a pair of pants when I went in there. I bought a belt and I bought a tie and I bought a shirt. I didn't get the socks because I'm good on socks. Anyway, so that's Bill Paul Limited. They didn't stop. They didn't stop at that first item. And it didn't bother me. I didn't feel like I was being pressured into sales at all. I felt like I was being consulted. I felt like I was being, there were suggestions. All right, so let's begin to take on that mentality when it comes to add-on sales. And let's get on into the add-on sales habit with everything. And I wish that we could measure what sales and average items per ticket are right now. And then I wish you could do this and focus on this every day with every sale, with every customer, and then we could measure it a year from now, because the owners of the stores would say, Jimmy, we're not paying you enough for these store training sessions. We want to quadruple our monthly amount that we pay. Because seriously, I'm joking about that, but I'm also serious in that if we put these efforts to practice every single day, you guys are going to be blessed beyond imagination. Okay? So, next, we love to be told what she will love. And I'm talking about men. Ladies, you, like I always say, you have tremendous power over men in your jewelry store. And that's all you have to do is tell us guys in general what she would love. And you know what? That's what we want. We don't think of these things. We need you guys as consultants to tell us. And if you're a guy in the jewelry store, you can do the very same thing with ladies and men. You can be a professional consultant, okay? Remember, when men walk into a jewelry store, they're buying reactions and feelings, okay? And you'd be surprised how little they're thinking about their budget. How little they're thinking less about their budget than you are. So stop thinking about it. Stop putting financial limitations that you may have in your brain on these people that are walking in your store, because really it's doing you a disservice, and it's doing you a customer service disservice. So anyhow, breezy, easy ways to add on. First step: walk around your store and find matchies for everything. If a customer comes in and he's looking at this Tacori ring, what goes with that? Well, these hoop earrings go with it. These stud earrings go with it. This pendant goes with it. Find matchies. Now, the other thing is, and don't overlook your smaller items. Don't overlook your charms and your beads. If they buy a $25 charm, what goes with that? All right, so don't be afraid to look at that. And of course, in Pandora, we're talking about the concept jewelry, et cetera, et cetera. But you can also have matchies in every part of your jewelry store, whether it's watches or diamond rings or necklaces, et cetera. So first thing is you got to find matchies, and so you can be spending your time when in your non-selling time. One thing that you can be doing in your non-selling time is walking around the store saying, what can I pair this up with? And my guess is you have thousands of items in your store, so you have no excuse to not ever be doing that sometime. And so find matches. Next thing, ask about other items when they're telling you the story. For example, women like to have a jewelry wardrobe. And so when he's telling you what is important about a diamond ring or a pair of diamond studs, say, oh, great, okay, does she often wear a necklace with that? What's going on her wrists? And those types of things. Let's ask about other things, because we want to get the whole concept of the whole wardrobe going on here. So we're going to ask about other items as they're telling the story. That it's a great question, because they're gonna know now that you're thinking more holistically. Okay. Next, put it on the tray. So he points at an item, looks at it in the case, and says, "Let's take a look at that." Preferably, I'm having you pull stuff out of the case that he's not even pointing at, that he's not even thinking of, because remember, we want you as consultants. So what you do is he's pointing at this necklace, this pendant, and you go ahead and you grab that. You grab a tray. All right? You have a tray. Not putting jewelry on a piece of glass. All right? Please don't. So you grab the tray without even asking him. You go to your matchy and you grab your matchy and you put it there, just like they did at Bill Paul Limited. You're putting the belt, you're putting the tie there. And then you put the set. I don't care if you put 6 items on there, okay? You show him, and then there was going to be a reaction about, well, I didn't want to see all that. Well, and then this is where you come in and make this your own. You can have fun with this, and you can say, well, this just goes with it. You could say, well, you wouldn't think of buying this without this. Or you can say something like, well, they're a family. You don't want to break up the family, do you? Here's where you make it your own. But you do it as a service to them, as a customer service and as a consultant. You can say something like, well, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't show you the earrings, because we wouldn't want her to be disappointed, etc. And so now, so make it your own, make it fun, and make it not pushy. But you got to know which things you got to pair up first. So you got to walk around that jewelry store. Then come up with your statements that you're going to say. Be very comfortable in it. Be very smooth in it. If you're nervous, if you think you're being pushy, it's going to come across that way. So you got to be smooth with this, and you got to be a consultant. It's what we want as men, I promise you. We want to be told what to buy. Now, in closing, there's 3 things that are going to come out of this. Number 1, it's going to start a conversation. And even if the conversation is, oh, she wouldn't be interested in that, that's okay. That's a data point for you. So it's important to have this information. Information is good, whether it's negative or positive. It doesn't matter, because if it's negative, you can use that to push into a positive direction. If it's positive, great. Now, second thing that's going to happen is you're going to learn something. You're going to learn that she's either always wanted diamond studs, or she wants bigger ones, or she doesn't like the ones she's got, or one of them, keeps falling off. Or you're going to learn something about the jewelry that she has or these items. Whether that's, hey, you know what? Maybe I could get that in September. Maybe I could get that for our blank coming up. And so you're going to start a conversation, you're going to learn something, or heaven forbid, the third item, you're going to sell something. Kim Hatchell at Galloway and Mosley Jewelers in Sumter, South Carolina. We did a personal one-on-one coaching session, and I said for Mother's Day week, I want you all to show another item with it. I want you to show matchy-matchies. She did that. She sold, and she showed a $149 silver and diamond pendant that he was thinking of getting. And you know what she did? She showed, just for fun, she showed the $7,000 diamond pendant that I think was fairly significant sized diamond. She ended up adding on a $7,000 sale onto a $149 sale. Call her, she'll tell you how she did it. But actually, don't call her. She'd probably be upset with all those phone calls coming in. But anyhow, she sold something. She did it, and she sold something. And if we increase the number of items on our ticket, we increase the profitability of our jewelry store, we increase your personal sales. I'll tell you what, everyone's going to be happy. Customers, recipients of the gifts, recipients of the items, you guys, your owners, and life is good. And then just send me boatloads more money, because you're so much more profitable because you watch these store trainings. Anyway, have a fantastic week. We don't have a quote for the week, because the quote for the week is, one of 3 things is going to happen. You're going to start a conversation, you're going to learn something, or you're going to sell something.